Hello everyone, and welcome to Forge of Empires, where today I'm going to be adding my 6 Forgotten Temples that I've been saving up from going through the Guild Expedition minigame. As you can see in my inventory, I've got them ready to go. 6 Forgotten Temples. The nice thing about these, obviously the best thing, is the 20% increase to Forge Point collection. But right now, it's towards the end of the week, and we currently are in a quantum incursion minigame where it's starting to get much more difficult. And so the nice thing about the Forgotten Temples is that they add 50% attack and defense to both attack and defending armies within quantum incursion. And obviously they also add to Guild Battleground, and they add to the overall army, which then contributes to Guild Expedition armies, just because that's how the boosts work out. So, as always, when I place my Forgotten Temples, I always try to maximize the amount of Forge points that I'm going to receive during my daily collections. And so if you haven't already noticed, my daily collection is ready in my city. I would say normally I collect about 15,000 Forge points a day, depending on how well my Blue Galaxy hits. But I do have quite a few buildings with 400 to 500 Forge points just with one collection. So there's the Garden of United Visions, level 2. That's a recent one. There's, of course, the Internal Market. There is Queen Anne's Legacy. And then I think, I don't know if I can find the other one. But, a few of them are above 200, some of them above 300. Definitely a good collection with the Blue Galaxy. And then once I do the total daily collection, the other 9 to 10,000 Forge points gets added on. So before I add on some of the other buildings, let's take a look at what my boosts are currently. So of course you have the coin and supply production boosts. I might get some metal production boosts. Forge point production boost obviously will increase. I might get some goods production as well, special goods production, guild goods production. Then you have the normal army attacking and defending units with attack and defense. So those are pretty good. Attack is 10,000 and 9,300. Defense is 8,600 to 8,300. Then you get the guild battleground boosts, upwards of 17,000, pretty much around 17,000. For attack, 15,003, 16,004 for attack and defense, respectively. Then you've got Guild Expedition, same thing, upwards of 18,000, 16,000, high 16,000s. And then Quantum Incursion, like I said, this is what I'm looking forward to most, because right now I only have 260 and 290 for attack and defense for Quantum Incursion attackers, and I only have 245 and 215 for defense. So I try to focus on attacking right now. I get a few extra actions, and these are coming from both buildings in my city and buildings in my quantum city. And then I forget if I'm going to have any capacity increase. I'll have to see what I can get with that. Some quantum coin and supply and coins to start. So this won't really affect me until next week when we start a new quantum incursion minigame, is when we get coins at the start, supplies at the start, and then goods and some army units. But yeah, so going back to my inventory, if I look up different ascended buildings, so I basically went through and I wrote down all the different ascended upgrades that I have. And then, for example, like I have 4 koi ponds that can be ascended, and so I have 4 koi ponds here in my city ready for that ascension upgrade. I think there might be, I want to say there might be a few other upgrades that I can look up in this tab, and I can go through this, like the Pirate King's Conquest. That's a quote-unquote ascension type upgrade, and that's going to give me another 3% Forge Point collection boost, a 1% goods collection boost, stuff like that. So it's the orange arrows that you're looking for. the Mad Scientist Dominion, which unfortunately I don't think I have any Mad Scientist Dominion eligible um, buildings right now. There's the Utopia one. So this one, I'm questioning if I should use this one because the Echo Nexus gives a good amount of forge points, and once you ascend it, yeah, the forge point collection boost goes up, but you actually lose all of those forge points that you can get. So I think the math might play out that it's worth increasing everything by another 8% and just losing out on those, extra forge points there. So I'll look into that. I think there is, yeah, so here's all the other ascended buildings. And I think that's it. I think that is everything that I have. So I haven't quite gotten the Halloween event had the Obsidian Tower upgrade. I have not yet received enough fragments. So let me see if I can look that up really quick. Yeah, so I only have 224 fragments for the Obsidian upgrade, so I can't quite get that yet, which is okay. But that's another one that I think would be a really nice thing to have as we're going through this. So I think that's it. So I'm going to cut out all the the boring placing buildings and everything like that. When we come back, I should hopefully have all of this empty space filled in with new and exciting buildings. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. And we're back. Just like that, I've added a good number of buildings. I'm actually surprised I wasn't able to fit um, or I wasn't able to find any more ascended buildings that I could put in. So I think that's fine for right now. As I'm probably going to keep doing this, as I continue to save up forgotten temples and ascended buildings and stuff like that. So real quick, let's check out the boosts again. So coin boost is up fairly high. Yeah, I only had 800 to start. Now I'm at 1800. I used a few coin boosts as well. Supply production went up a little bit. Metal production didn't go up at all. Forge point production's at 157, which is pretty good. You know what? Actually, I forgot to put in the Echo Utopia. So let's do this guy here. All right, let's see what that puts me at for forge point production now. It should be an additional 8%. So yeah, so 157 goes up to 165. So that's pretty nice. Goods production is up to 12% from my Octo Orbs and the Pirates King Conquest Villa. Special goods is still at 5% and no guild good production boost. The normal attacking units didn't really go up by much. I think the defense actually went up by like 800, but the attacking didn't go up by, oh, actually that went up by like 900 too. I was just surprised that it didn't go up by like multiple thousands of boosts, because if you go further down, Guild Battlegrounds did. So Guild Battlegrounds was at 17,002 for attacking. Now it's at 19,003. So that's pretty good. That should help me out with getting a little bit more in attrition during Guild Battlegrounds. Same thing for the Defenders. Defenders attack was down at like 15,003. Now it's up to 17,006. For Guild Expedition, I was at 18,001. Now I'm at 19,003 for attack. And then for Defenders, I was at 16,006. Now I'm up to 17,008. So I am in a higher trial of Guild Expedition now. I'm up at trial 48. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting through these. I'm still getting defeated, so I'll have to figure out a way to, boost up my attacking units even more. There's the build that you can put here. I can build something extra. Try to see if that works. But maybe it's just, I don't know. Instead of using 4 rogues, I can use a little bit something different. I don't know. It's interesting. So we'll come back to that though. The highlight though, right, of all these boosts was the quantum incursion. So if we can scroll back down to quantum incursion, so quantum incursion was at 260 and 290 respectively, and now we're at 730. So that definitely increased. And then same thing for the defenders. Now we're up to 760 and 694. And then action recharge didn't increase, capacity didn't increase. The coin production and supply production increased significantly. Coin was at 380, now it's at 420. Supply was at 180, that's at 240, or we'll say 250. And then the coins that I get at the next incursion start, that's going to be over 300,000. Supplies are going to be over 400,000. I'll get an extra 160 goods, and then we'll get 35 more units. So that's 7 extra units per, the light and heavy and artillery and all that stuff. So that's pretty nice. So real quick, now that I've got this boost, I wanted to kind of highlight. So Eternal Market, I think, is my highest forge point production building. That per collection is at 1,400. So obviously that's the one that I want to focus on with my Blue Galaxy. Not to say that others are bad. The Garden of United Visions, that's at 1,000. The Queen Anne's Legacy, that was another one that I highlighted, that's at 1,060. But nothing is going to beat this Eternal Market being at 1,400. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my Blue Galaxy, and if you go over here to this green square, now you can see that my double collection from Blue Galaxy is started. I have 15 tries, quote unquote tries, because you only get 71% chance of doubling your resources. So let's see how lucky I get. So the first time I did double my resources, I got 2,800 forge points, and I'm just going to add all these to my stellar warship because I'm trying to get this to level 100. Right now it's 50,000 forge points just to level up this one level, and I'm only at level 60, so it's only going to get higher from here. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I have my self-aid kit, so I have that, so I'm going to self-aid my Eternal Market, and then I'm going to go to my finish special production, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that, I'm going to favorite it, so that now when I go back to my main page, now it's just at the front of my inventory. And so now I can go to my Eternal Market and I can collect from it again. And so this time it did not double, but that's okay because I have 13 tries left. And you can see how many tries you have left with this little indicator up in the right. So I'll just keep doing this. I'll aid it and keep collecting from it. And every so often it should double. And I'm trying to get up to like 47,000, I think, because second place is going to put down about 1,300 forge points in order to get that. So I'll keep doing this and I'll stop talking so that we can speed through this and get to the rest of the video. So I've now added more forge points to my stellar warship, and I have depleted all of the extra Blue Galaxy tries of doubling my forge point and other collection. The one thing that I also wanted to say was the Eternal Market gives a lot of current age goods and previous age goods, which someone being in Space Age Space Hub gives me a lot of goods for leveling up my stellar warship, and also the Titan buildings like the Centaurus and Pegasus and the Hydra. So one last thing that I wanted to touch on before doing this, I'm going to collect, finish all the production, all my finished production, collect all of it, and then it only is 5 diamonds, which in this case I'm going to be collecting thousands and thousands of forge points. So since the normal bar fills up by 100 forge points, it would just be way too time consuming for me to keep collecting, one building at a time. So I'm going to click on that. And I do have the confirmation on. It says you're going to spend some diamonds. That's fine. and then it says, all right, you do have some production buildings that have a timer on it. What do you want to reset the timer to? And so I always pick 1 day because it's all my Golden Terrace farms producing forge points. And if you didn't catch it there, my daily collection now, in addition to all the forge points that I just added to my stellar warship, which was around, I want to say like, I don't know, maybe like 20,000, 30,000, something like that. So I just collected another 29,000. So pretty good. Obviously, I collected a few other things. So my selection kits and my finish special productions and stuff like that. Knocked off a quest in the meantime. And so now what I can do, and I won't do it now because unfortunately I don't have anywhere to put these forge points, but what I normally do when I have this going is I'll go here and I'll find the finish all. And so there's a finish all special production item. Very rare. It does not come out very often. And I always save it for this because basically what I can do now is I can mass self-aid all of my buildings. So all of them are aided again. And for most of the buildings, you can now immediately finish the production of all of them. And so what that is going to do is it's immediately going to give me another however many tens of thousands of forge points right off the bat. I like doing it one after the other because basically it doesn't offset some of the like collection times. So for example, all of the great buildings, they reset to 24 hours of collection. So same time tomorrow, I'll come on and all my great buildings will be done at the same time. But if I finish my production of other buildings, then they're going to be 2 minutes off. Or if I do it 7 minutes from now, they're going to be 9 minutes off. So I try to keep it as close as possible, just so I don't lose that much time between those collections, and that way I can collect all of them all at the same time with that 5 diamond collection. So that's it for now. Now I get to go into my mini games and try to, beat everything. My, quantum incursion. I have a stronger army. For Guild Battleground, I have a stronger army. So in 12 minutes, I'm going to start attacking this sector. Like I said, Guild Expedition, I'm going to have to try to figure out what's going on here because I'm almost positive it's because these fast units are feeding my initial units. And so I'm trying to think if there's a way, if I can just like have that like that. Oh, there you go. Okay, so we got it. We got there. All right. Whew, I was getting nervous, honestly, for a second, because if I can't beat 48, I don't know how I'm going to make it to, I think the highest trial is either 55 or 60 or something like that. I can't remember right now. I was getting nervous I wasn't going to be able to beat that last level. But in any case, that's the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, or if you want to tell me what I did wrong, because I'm sure someone is going to tell me that I did something wrong, please leave a comment below. And as always, keep on jamming.